Good afternoon. Welcome to J&S Biblical Productions. This is Pamela Bluewater. Today we are going to talk about a disease that is mentioned in the Bible at least 40 times. The main reason it comes up so much is that it is a graphic illustration of sin's destructive power. In ancient Israel, it was a powerful lesson of the influence of sin in a person's life. The name of the dreaded disease is called leprosy. The event in the life of Jesus where we are introduced to this skin disease is located in Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 through 4. Jesus had just finished his Sermon on the Mount and had come down when he was met with a man with leprosy. So let's begin chapter 8.
When Jesus came down from the mountainside, large crowds followed him. A man with leprosy came, knelt before him and said,
"Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean."
And then Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. He said,
"To be cleaned, I am willing."
and immediately he was cured of his leprosy. And then Jesus said to him,
"See that you don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift Moses commanded as a testimony to them."
This is Pamela Bluewater again in the J&S studio with biblical historian and expert on diseases and their symbols, Miss Mary Beth Violet from the Church of the Open Window. So Mary Beth, can you please tell us what is so terrible about a leper asking for help at this time?
So many things. The stigma of the leprosy in the Bible is that it was a striking emblem of sin. The leper was considered a lost cause and totally abandoned by God. It was deemed incurable by any human means. Among the Jews, if a leper could be cured, it was only by the grace of God's sovereign power.
Oh, wow. So who or where could a person with leprosy go to be diagnosed?
So the answer to that question is in chapter 13 of the book of Leviticus. One would go to a priest, and as explained, there would be a list of symptoms, and if the victim was found to be judged as a leper, then he or she would be outcast from their community, and their clothes would be burned, and unfortunately, they would become homeless. If someone would come up to them, they were supposed to yell, "Unclean."
That's really bad. So speaking about the significance of the story that we just saw in Matthew chapter 8, where Jesus reaches out his hand, is what?
So Jesus is demonstrating that he supersedes the Mosaic law.
Okay.
By touching a leper, he has the power to banish incurable disease and restore the unfortunate. The leper to his or her right standing with God and humanity.
Then would you say that Jesus is showing off his power in a dramatic sense?
No, he was not trying to show off at all. That is definitely not his style.
Okay.
Like as in the story where he turned water into wine at the wedding party in Cana. It was just something, a miracle he could do easily without hesitation. And like he said in chapter 4, don't tell anyone about this, like he did at the wedding.
Okay, that's pretty incredible. I noticed that Jesus acts without fear and quickly. He could have hesitated with concern that he could have gotten contaminated and infected by what everyone considered an incurable disease and a lost cause.
Well, he is who he is and has the power only attributed by God.
Okay, well, Miss Mary Beth, thank you for your conclusions. This is a story with a powerful message. Jesus demonstrates easily the power of God in Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 through 4. This is Pamela Bluewater for J&S Biblical saying, here is an example of where you can always put your faith in Jesus. Good afternoon.
What are your thoughts on today's story? We'd like to know. So leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. J&S Authentic Biblical Productions. Whether it's the Word of God through parables, true stories illustrating parables, or true stories in the life of Jesus Christ with commentary, you can see them all by subscribing to the most comprehensive collection of videos of biblical stories for you and your family. Have a blessed day.